Hello, this is a free call from
Charlie.
an incarcerated individual at the Leon County Jail. This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. To accept this free call, press "Thank you for using Securus." You may start the conversation now.
Hey.
Hi, Dad. Hi, Daddy.
Hey, Roro. So how was your day, buddy?
Dad,
Yeah, tell me about it. What'd you do?
so I went to school today.
Yeah, what'd you learn at school? Tell me. Did you learn about numbers?
Yeah. I learned
Tell me about numbers.
2000.
Ooh, I bet you're getting good at counting.
Count to 12. No, I just scared. No, I'm not. 200? No, I didn't. I was just pranking you. Mommy, wait.
Did you do some reading at school?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you like the smartest kid in your whole class now?
Yeah.
I bet you are. I love you, pretty girl.
I love Daddy.
I love you, Roro.
I love Dad.
I love my Roro.
I love Dad more.
Uh-oh. I don't think so.
Oh, I don't think my daddy loves me more.
No, Daddy loves you more than you love him.
I love you. Send in 10,000, 800, 50,000, send in 8,000.
That's a big number, bro.
Do you miss me more than that, Daddy?
Yeah, I miss you a lot, buddy.
Whoa, I miss you way more than that. I can say those big numbers for like 100 nights.
Wow.
I could say that. I could do that. I love you.
I love you a lot, buddy. You got soccer tomorrow?
Yeah.
Nice. Scored some big goals.
Oh yeah. I got 2 billion.
Yeah. That's good, bro.
Billion. Yeah.
You didn't know that.
I miss you.
I miss you too, Roro.
I'm a beast.
Have you been a good boy for Mommy?
Yes, I have.
That's what I want you to see. Listen to your Mommy.
So, I just said that. No, I don't. No, thank you, my baby. So, Daddy.
Well, God.
I don't know what I really want to talk about.
How are you doing on that game? On the guitar game?
What? I didn't hear you.
I said, how are you doing with that video game you like playing?
Yeah, I did.
You doing really good on it?
Oh, yeah, it is really good.
And you enjoy listening to your country music?
Yeah.
All right. You're going to be a country singer?
Yep, one day when I grow up, but guess what?
What, buddy?
I gotta be on a higher level than him.
What?
Because we're both on level 15. But there's 18 levels on that game. Beat Star goes up to 31. Country Star, I need to get to level 16 and have more stars than 10 does.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's a lot of stars, Roro. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about, too.
That's what I'm talking about, big fella.
Okay. I'm a bumblebee, bumblebee, bumblebee.
Yeah.
Bumblebee, bumblebee. I have no school tomorrow.
No school tomorrow?
Oh, yes, I do have. I don't have school on Friday, but I do have school tomorrow.
Okay. No school Friday?
Then a week off. Oh.
You got no school Friday, but you got school tomorrow, right?
Yep.
That's what I like to hear. Taking care of business, Roro.
Yes, I'm talking about my baby. Daddy.
Doing big kind of stuff, right, Roro?
Yep. When I see you, we're going to do some big crap shit.
Yeah, we're going to do some shit, buddy.
Oh, we're going to do some asshole shit.
Where do you learn these words from, Roro?
This is about words.
Yeah, we're going to do some shit, bro.
Yeah, we're going to do some shit. Yeah, first, you're right. We're going to do some shit.
That's one there. So you taking good care of Mommy?
Yep. She's beautiful. She's
You got the most beautiful Mommy in the whole world. You're very lucky, bro. You already knew that, though, right?
Good night, Daddy.
You going to bed and say goodbye?
Yeah.
All right, my man. Well, you sleep tight and you look at this book, take good care of Mommy, okay?
I will, sir.
All right, mister. I'll give you a call tomorrow when we come home from school. Tomorrow night, like 6:30-ish, okay?
Oh, my Daddy.
All right, great. Are you hanging up too?
No, not if you don't want me to. He's not going to bed yet.
No. Okay, I'm just going to talk to you for a minute.
I know, he's excited. He's different. Good. My mom came this morning because yesterday I realized I left his backpack in her car whenever she picked him up. So she had to drop by this morning, and she ended up taking him to school, which helped me out work. And then, yeah. And then went to go pick him up after soccer, and I just home.
So her take her all to school?
No, they did. And then took him to, yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, they both picked him up and took him to school?
No, just my mom. It was my mom this morning, and then I was at work, so she picked him up and then took him to soccer, and then I picked him up.
Oh, he had soccer today?
Yeah.
I thought he had soccer on Tuesday, Thursday.
No, they had to change it because they didn't have school yesterday.
Oh, he had no school Tuesday, and he moved away.
He had no school yesterday. Yeah. They change it weekly. I mean, honestly, for his range, it's so up in the air. Yeah. I mean, we get like a weekly letter for like, I mean, we get it on like Saturday mornings. And it lets us know like any dates that have changed. And but yeah, since yesterday was the teacher work day, they changed it to Wednesday this week. So it was today. And then he has it tomorrow. And then Friday is Veterans Day, so they're out of school.
Okay.
But he'll be in aftercare. Like, so he'll be doing something outside. He's going to do something after work. Yeah.
I just want to let you know, for his birthday, I'm buying him the guitar.
I love that idea. That would be awesome.
I just wanted to tell you, if you don't play by chance buy the guitar, I don't know if you were planning on it. I told my parents to get one for like a 6-year-old. Like, I don't know if you're going to get like an electric one. Like, we'll find out whenever like a good beginning, like ever like a guitar for like a 6-year-old to begin playing. Like one that would keep their interest. I don't know if it's going to be electric and like make easy noise just so you get used to the fingers. And then maybe we'll get on guitar lessons or something. Get them starting to play a little bit.
Your parents, I know they'll do. I've thought about it, but that actually was an option that I was going to do. But you know, that's going to come from you, and your parents will do the research. They'll get the best one for you.
Oh yeah. No, I wasn't telling you what to get. I was telling you what that I was going to get him one. So I wanted to. I don't know. I can't remember what I talked about with too. Did I say that to you yesterday? Or was it my mom I was talking to?
You said it to me. You asked. You were like, "How would you feel if I got him this?" And I said, "That's an amazing idea."
Okay, and then I was talking more about all of that.
Well, how are you doing today? I texted your mom a couple times. I know. You there?
Take your home.
No, of course not.
He's got a trust fund for a roller. He's going to be more than fine. I'm not going to need it.
I'm going to get him. We're about. You can color coordinate them? Yeah? Go get them out of mommy's purse, okay? They're in mommy's purse. It's on the couch.
Is it even right now?
He is, I just got him set up with something. Right there, mommy's purse. They're in the back. No, those are the cookies. Hold on, let me get him set up with something. There you go. How about you color coordinate them? And you can count and see how many each color you have, okay? Sorry, give me a second.
That's all right. You know, I had a hard time every time I think about what I had to do.
And I know hearing that specific voice is not easy.
Here goes I just really appreciate them. You're going to tell me because all I can do that.
We'll figure out, okay? Together. And I still have
so just so you know, a little bit well taken care of. I got the band set up. And it's
I don't care about any of that.
no, not that you care about it. I just want you to know that Roman's going to be taken care of.
As much as I appreciate that, I truly, really, the only thing on my mind is...
I'm just saying whatever what's mine is not his.
I just care about you.
Yeah, no, to let you know that he will be taken care of. He'll be fine. When it comes to summer camp or whatever, like it's going to be, anything he does, it's my pleasure. So, then be good. Figure out some way to do like incentives. Figure it all out. Stop at 18 and nothing is less. But he's taking care of himself.
Maybe. Move them up though, right? You made it to 7. He's practicing standing on one foot. For 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. He's made it to 7. I'll move it above. I'm moving. I'm completely still. I see you moving too.
Hey, by the way, don't wish yourself a riot or anything like that. It's about 2.5, 3 weeks. People are going to be taking care of stuff. But that is, I don't want to.
Oh yeah, I wanted to say that. Yeah, no, I never said anything. I'm not question.
Don't get fired. What did you say? What's up? How are you dealing?
What's up, Bree? How are you holding up? And then,
he's going to learn what institutional fraud is real soon.
He liked a photo of, because again, I am posting photos of, when it comes to Roman, I've only posted a photo of, like, I mean, it was a photo of him walking.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about it in my age.
No, yeah, no, and I don't post anything I post disappears in 24 hours. But no, I posted a photo today of Tuck, and he was yawning, and it just looked like dinosaur, and we hearted it. But no, I have no intention of reaching out to Randy.
Yeah, no, just remember that guy literally, Darren was his friend of 25 years. Brian is dangerous. I don't know how else to describe it to you. He's extremely dangerous. He will look to ruin. He will figure out a way. Darren was his friend since 1997. He took photos of Darren with another girl and sent them to his wife so he could crazy. He almost cost Darren his marriage. Like,
trust me, this was a man that was around my son too. Despite
This is somebody who was Darren's friend for 25 years and had no problem ruining his marriage to make it look like it was me doing it. Like, that's scary. That's dangerous. That's really tough. He's a dangerous person.
Evil.
It's evil and dangerous because it would be like, I don't know, it would be like your mom showing up at your house and lighting it on fire so she could make it look like me. And then come to you and be like, I saw Charlie leaving with a book of matches and it smelled like gasoline. You think he did it? Meanwhile, it was her who did it. Like, that's crazy. Yeah. No, I mean, fucking crazy. And Darren was his close friend.
Nothing I have to say to them.
I'm just telling you. So just be careful with your posts because obviously people who don't like you and have evil intentions are on top of it.
There's nothing that they're going to post. I mean, maybe negatively about me posting with my son and mom. I'm not even putting them on my face.
Yeah, no, I'm just letting you know. So anyway.
Roman will be off of social media and away from the public eye for a very long time. Right.
Yeah, kids shouldn't be on social media anyway. It's fucking
I meant like photos of his face and stuff like that.
Yeah, no. There's no purpose to that. There's zero purpose. Any friends of yours, just send them the photo. Technical. But I just wanted to call you and say hey. I'd say hello to them.
He's getting a little tired, especially days after soccer. He's a happy boy. He's a happy boy. His teacher actually sent me, there's this app called Talking Parents or whatever, so I can communicate daily with his teachers. And she sent me a message today saying how Roman is one of the funniest kids in the class. Like,
Yeah.
he cracks her up.
That is a funny kid. See where he gets it from.
And
It's right there.
it made me smile because sometimes she'll be the one to, like, during carpool, if I pick him up, like, she'll be the one to put him in the car and she'll just tell me basically that she sent a message and she said, Roman is the funniest kid in our class. And not in, like, a disrespectful, like, he doesn't get in trouble. He's not, like, he's just funny. She was like, he has me cracking up every day.
He's a great kid, bro. We got one fucking great kid. I love you guys. I love him. And as bad as this is, he's the one thing that makes me cry every time I think of him. So I can't even fathom. I honestly, I don't know. You know?
And, you know, if there's just always keep me in the loop of how you're feeling, what you can, what you can't handle, what you want to do, you know, you can call me.
I keep it with more of that.
Okay.
I know it's 5 minutes a day, but
You know, you do.
Number 10? You didn't think number 9. It was hard.
Last week at the time, I thought it was home. I thought it was something that at the calendar thinking I would be home right now.
I know. So did I.
Do it like that. On my number 10.
Good job, buddy. So did I. And obviously that's not to the same effect as, you know, you. But I certainly, definitely Sunday night and Monday morning thought that it was going to be a countdown of, you know.
Oh, dude, I thought it was the biggest flying fuck ever. I knew it was going to be like this. I did not think I was going to get a fucking fair trial. I really didn't
You never
thought it was.
hope because you, I mean,
I
honestly thought you were.
I knew before I knew when I was in South Florida. I knew what Tallahassee was. I knew how big the story got. I didn't fully appreciate how big it got until I really got up here. But I knew from everything else that there's no way in hell. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Or was it easier to hear me before?
No, it's the same.
All right, I did it before. I knew well before I got arrested in the fucking circus, fucking Kangaroo. Everyone knew who I was. Everyone knew what the case was before we started. There's no way. I mean, every juror I had to eliminate was because they fucking was horrible for the case. Every juror that they got rid of was someone who would have given me a fair shake. So we each get 10 X's, except they have 80% of the pool already against me. You know, I didn't have stealth jurors that were looking to let me go. They had stealth jurors that were looking to convict me. There's no way that all 12 people, not one person, but Cattleman made like beyond a reasonable doubt sound like, oh, well, you know, like use your common sense. Like, what's reasonable? Like, if you think he's guilty, you look at this mountain of evidence. What? My sister's book is evidence? My sister showing up at the fucking crime scene is evidence?
No,
like,
she tried
where's the mountain?
the community of Tallahassee.
She broke out the big southern accent that she didn't have on trial for the closing. So y'all got to use your head. Y'all are smart. Wendy couldn't help herself and she showed up at the crime scene. Well, here's the problem. Wendy did show up there an hour after it happened. Drove through that street. You know what the fucking probability of that happening is? I mean, she had 3 liquor stores close to her house. She had 3 liquor stores close to her house. If she was going to that liquor store, she had a direct route. She went out of her way, went down Trescott, and went to a liquor store that was twice as far away as everything else.
You know what's funny is I actually today, for lunch, I actually stopped by my mom and Tim's house. And because it was there was a couple things that in there. Okay, hold on one second.
There was some what?
And then there was a couple things I needed to pick up. So as I was leaving, I was like, okay, I need to go to here, grocery store. And so as I was leaving, my mom was like telling me like, okay, well there's one like, you know, you just go this way, you go this way, and she was trying to tell me about one that was closer to, you know, 10,000. And I was like, no, you know what? I'm gonna go this way. This is the one that I know. And I get in the car, and the first thing I think about is that certain situation.
Yeah. Dude,
Me choosing to go to one because I already knew where it was. I knew I had to go pick up Roman. And I was like, this is just the way that it's a comfort. I just knew the area. I knew where I needed to be at what time. And like,
you want to know something? I live in Bell Harbor in 06. Okay. I used to go to the pharmacy across the street from Nova, and used to also go to the CVS liquor store across the street from Nova. Can you hear me okay?
yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah, so that's the pharmacy I go to since I was in dental school in 1999. Well, in 06, I moved over to Well Harbor. You would think that I would use the CVS and a liquor store by me on 441. You know what I do every time I go to, I would still go to a liquor store and still use my pharmacy? I would down.
Wait, the phone cut out. Can you hear me?
Always done it like that. I think if they would have probably done that when I was on the liquor store with you, right?
Yeah.
Did you know which one we went to? The one by Nova?
The one you knew.
Yeah, but there's other liquor stores closer to my house on 441. So my sister's only been to one fucking liquor store ever up there. And she would go to the one by her house. I never drank. One never drinks. So she went to the one that was by, that she always used to go to by her old house. She's going to the liquor store. So she knows how to get there by going the path of taking her old, like by her old house. So when she came up the turn and she saw the yellow tape, she thought, oh, like the tree must have fallen in the street. So they got it taped up and they're cutting one of these oak trees. Because I guess she said during the summertime, like we had lightning storms and like a tree will fall down. So she just figured like
she knows that Dan was responsible enough to get the kids to school. That wasn't an immediate on her head.
She didn't see she saw yellow tape, but they put yellow tape up when a tree falls. You know, they put yellow tape up sometimes when there's a car accident. Like it doesn't necessarily. She didn't connect it. She didn't see the crime scene vehicle. She didn't see all the paramedics and all that. All that shit had already left. So she just saw a police officer sitting in the road with yellow tape blocking the street. Okay.
Right.
Like, I'll just go a different route. Like, so she turned around, did a U-turn, and then turned back around and then proceeded on her way to the liquor store. Like, la-di-da. Meanwhile, Ms. Kappelman is saying she couldn't help herself. She had to go and check it out and turn down Prescott to see if the job was done. She showed up an hour later. I mean, first of all, if you hired a hitman, what do you want to be? The whole purpose is to be as far away from the crime scene as possible.
Yeah, we spoke about that yesterday, and that's absolutely a valid point.
So you would be as far away, like she couldn't help herself. So it meant she did it, but then she had to go check it out.
Literally out of town is what you would think.
Yeah, and then who's the only person that benefits from all this? The chick waiting to see if it was done right. So it's like you go ahead and you put all that in their heads. What is the probability that she goes down Prescott and has no business? It's not like she's like, oh, I was going to go over Danny's house and see if I could pick up a computer, or I was going to go knock on the door to see if he was home. She was just passing by. but you start 10 miles away and then drive in front of the house where the crime scene is, out of your way, missing the 3 other liquor stores, taking a less direct route to that liquor store, but that's how you knew how to go. It's a reasonable explanation. But when you consider her husband was shot an hour earlier, you know what it sounds like? Fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
And why do you think the state started? The state started with that. You know why? Because that's hard to believe. Like if I said to you, Bree, what is the probability that it just happenstance that she got in the car, drove 10 miles, went past the liquor store, and then ended up, to go to the liquor store, tried to drive through Trescott, all on that date, on that time. What is the probability of that happening? How many times has she done that in the whole time that she fucking lives at this new place? How many times has she done that and just haven't happening? You know what I mean? Like,
and I thought the same thing. As soon as I got in the car, I was like, if that whole situation, that specific situation hit me, because like my mom was sitting there telling me how to get from telling me instructions or directions, and I was like, I'm just gonna go the way that I know, and new house, whatever, and I'm kind of leaving from there, going to the area that I know, and I knew I had to be able to school at a specific time, so I was like, and then when I'm going, like, even when I moved out of your house, my pharmacy was still that CVS off of that main road. The one that was like literally 2 blocks from your house, or I mean, like right down the road.
Yeah, Davey and 441.
Yeah, that was still my pharmacy. You know how weird it would look if I was like actually going to that CVS and it was like a police thing. If you had I wouldn't immediately think the worst. And I don't like it when people are put in a situation and say like, oh, you didn't immediately think the worst. Oh, you're guilty then. Like,
what are you doing there?
But that's the pharmacy I went to, and I never changed it. Just like you were saying, you never went another way because that's just what you knew.
Pharmacy is also where stuff gets called into. I'm just saying it's also my sister's been living there at that point for 7 years. So her saying I'm really bad with directions, but I'm an absolute genius is also a little bit harder to believe too. And it's like you've been living in that town since 06, maybe 07.
Okay, but she was also going to a place that she never goes to, but just keeps
Right. But she only knew how to go there by going, cutting through her old neighborhood and taking that route. So she wasn't using, MapQuest on your iPhone. I don't think people had that in 14. So it wasn't like, it wasn't like how everyone travels where they put the address in and the store location. I just don't, the point is, she was there.
That's what their hyper-focus was on.
Hyper-focus on okay, it didn't feel like this for me. What's the probability of her showing up there on that day, on that time, with that excuse, and it's a random occurrence? 1 in 10,000.
Little to none, Charlie. Little to none.
Yeah, if I was a betting man, what would you say? Not 1 in 100. I would say 1 in 1,000. Maybe 1 in 5,000, 1 in 10,000. That day, that time. I mean, he showed up at the scene of the crime.
Yeah, but I mean, even with this all being said, Kappelman was hyper-focused on a lot of details that ultimately had nothing to do with you.
Nothing. Like, this case...
What part of that scenario had anything to do with you? Nothing.
Nothing. When he wrote that... Nothing.
Your mom's email sent from...
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. It's basically saying, he's going to be a jerk to you, you be a jerk back, here's some ideas to be a jerk. None of those ideas were ever even considered to be put into action. Maybe threaten him with it just so he'd, maybe realize he's being a jerk and she could be a jerk back. I can get that. I mean, listen, you're going to be a jerk, I'm going to be a jerk back. Don't make me be a jerk. Stop what you're doing. And then like,
Yeah, we went through that.
so sometimes somebody will like look at it and be like, listen, if you want to do that, I'm going to do this. Let's not even go there, okay? But
Right.
that's basically what we're getting at. Like, if you're going to go ahead and and put an offer to an attorney and say, hey, are we allowed to do this? Is this legal? What's the best way to offer this money that I was going to pay a third? And obviously I have a better financial situation than I am now. Much different, but I was going to pay a third. My parents were going to pay a third. My sister was going to pay a third. Okay, that was a reasonable idea. And the thought was that it would give him enough money so he would come to South Florida, and he only worked 2 days a week, I think 20 weeks a year, or 23 weeks a year. So he literally had 46 days a year he had to be up here. So the premise was, with that kind of money, you can buy your plane tickets, you can live in South Florida. If you really want to, you can live in an apartment up here in Tallahassee. If you get back and forth, you don't have a ton of cash, and you get the best of both worlds, and you win. And you're around the kids and all that stuff. So that was the premise. And that was the offer, and that's how my parents contacted lawyers to see if it was even legal. They did. They were running it by Harry home.
Do you know how many family dynamics have gone through the same stuff, though? Like, that's insane. Like, said the same things, gone through the same things. Like, I mean, it's just beyond.
So here's the thing. I didn't even know this until maybe today my mom told me. So I'm like, the Markells, Dan's parents, so they've seen the boys above. The trial that they were going to arrest me earlier, that they held off because they thought it would interfere with the grandparents' visitation with the boys if I got arrested before they got to see the boys. I'm like, Mom, is that true? And she's like, it's actually believed to be true because April 20th, they had a scheduled meeting with my sister, the boys, and Phil and Ruth Markell.
Oh.
So my sister met them at a restaurant with the boys on April 20th. My probable cause was signed, brought to a grand jury on the 19th. They indicted me on the 20th, and then they picked me up on the 21st. Okay. So they did wait. They could have brought it to a grand jury earlier, but at some point they had this on the books, so they didn't want to fuck up the grandparents. I said, I wasn't. I thought they would be so weird. Okay. So they met the parents. And keep in mind, they hadn't been boys since 2015 when they wanted to have my sister arrested and put the kids in foster care. Like, that's the reason why my sister said, I don't want anything to do with you. You can't be around me and the children. You're accusing me of murder. You want me arrested. And you want the children to go into foster care and take my children from me. Like, you cannot be around my kids. I'm not a murderer. And you're evil. So that's
nor do my kids deserve to be in foster care. Yeah, I mean, she said that shit. It's pretty.
Right. I mean, so it's like, can you imagine if somebody wanted to have you arrested and have Roman taken from you, and they put it in writing? You would be like, get the fuck away from me. Right? Well, now they have these fucking grandparents bills and grandparents' rights because they think that we're responsible for Dan's murder. And like we murdered Dan and we took the kids and we changed their last name and we keep them from the grandparents. Like, that's not what happened at all. Not at all. But you know what? There's a bill in the Florida legislature for grandparents' rights to Dan Markell. So if you want to know what it was like when they saw the grandkids for the first time in 6 years?
Well, I don't know.
When they said it was so weird. They didn't hug them. And keep in mind, like, Lincoln looks a lot like Danny. Lincoln looks a lot like their son. So you think that grandparents would be all over the kids, hugging them, kissing them, like, not wanting to let them go. You haven't seen your grandkids in 6 years. Wendy said they didn't hug them. They didn't kiss them. They talked to them and asked them about school and how they were doing and how school. nothing really about themselves, and they stayed 1 hour.
No, it's very different from what Bruce said in the book.
Wait, are you fucking... Yeah, I haven't read the book. I don't want to read the book, but...
Oh, no, of course, I have not. I don't have
So wait, hold on. I go, Mom, so they didn't hug them, they didn't kiss them. They stayed for an hour. They asked them about school. They asked them a couple personal questions about themselves, and they left. So I said, yeah, but now that they have unabated access to the kids, how many times have they seen them? Like, how many times, I mean, in the last 19 months, like, obviously that was 19 months ago, like, how many times has the grandkids seen them? You know what Mom said? That was the one and only time. That was the one and only time they came to see the kids. It was for 1 hour, asking how was school, and not even giving them a hug.
Yeah, it's not like they saw them and they're like, okay, we understand it's been so long and it's just going to be awkward, so we're going to follow up like
what is his grandparents? What is his grandparents? You got this bill in the legislature. You're making such a scene about everything. Like, wouldn't you be like, all right, I'm going to come and see you guys every 3-4 months. I'm going to fly down to South Florida. I mean, there's direct flights from Toronto to South Florida. Like, you would be like, I'm going to come down. I'm going to see you all the time. I thought they when it was the trial, I thought they'd seen them 3 or 4 times since that first encounter. Do you know?
Yeah, I didn't even know about that first encounter.
Yeah, it was 19 months ago for 1 hour. They left after an hour, and they've never seen each other. I mean, they may have done a Skype call here or there, but grandparents could travel, they have money. You're not working. Like, don't you think they can come and spend more than an hour with the kids? They find out, okay, so they got visitation rights. They got grandparents' visitation rights. What are you going to do with it? Never come and see it. Is that insane?
That is. I mean, I was honestly shocked to hear about that one visit, but I'm not surprised at all them not having anything other because they wake up and go to sleep just dreaming of justice being done. And they don't care about the big boys more than they cared about getting back at your family.
Yeah, no, they don't. They literally have had nothing but like going on this tour, telling everybody how they lost their grandparents' rights. Okay, you got your grandparents' rights. What do? You've seen for 1 hour in the last over a year and a half. That's what you're doing with the grandparents' rights. This is 1 hour, the last year and a half. That's all you can pretty much.
To try to ruin your family's life has far outweighed their love and their clearly just open, could be, relationship with their grandson that they have been on pretty much a tour of.
They've been relentless with this case. That's why it's not. That's why this is what's going on right now. And you know what? When you have when they're on the stand questioning my sister about grandparents' rights, and now there's a bill in the state of Florida because you're not letting your grandkids see their dead father's parents. Like, you just basically saying you equal with you. And by the way, if that was really true, nobody would say you are an equal witch. But she's not. But here's the problem. She showed up at the crime scene. You know the whole thing? Like, he showed up at the scene of the crime. Like, why the fuck would the one person in the world who would benefit possibly from him being dead and showing up at the wrong place at the wrong time? That smells like shit. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It smells like shit. And then you go ahead and what did I get Wendy for her divorce present? She was moving out, didn't have a TV. I said, my mom, what was Wendy's like? What does she need? So she could use a TV. I said, go ahead and pick out a real nice one and I'll pay for it. It was like $2,200 or so. So my mom picked it out, bought it, paid for the Geek Squad. Lincoln throws a remote at the TV set. Great. I guess, you can turn it on and it has that slightly crack in it. Hits it.
Yep, your son just did that before mine.
So you have that So she called up to see how much it was going to cost to fix. They don't tell you. So that morning, you got my mom's email to her saying, like, the geek squad will be there between 9 and 1 or whatever, right? So you got that. My mom's communicating with her. Hey, it's a TV repair van. Then when and then I make a stupid joke about the TV. And then when my mom gets approached by the undercover agent, she says the TV is about 5. She said TV is 5. She's using an object. The guy asked for 50,000. You know what she would say? This car is about 5. It's about 50. She wouldn't say the TV is 50. She would have said the car is 50 because the price range of which something costs. So maybe there was somebody around. Maybe it's just that she's old and was like trying to come up super careful. And like that's why she picked a TV. But because
that was already stated from the very beginning. Talk carefully. I mean, like admitting kind of coming at people who were talking carefully. No matter what they say, it's gonna look bad.
Okay, you're talking carefully. Well, if I wasn't talking carefully, you guys would be coming to me asking me what the fuck happened, and I wasn't going to tell you. I think
you made that very clear also.
Yeah, so like I had very simple answers to your complicated questions and pointed questions. I gave you exactly why I was saying what I was saying, and she's like, "Oh, you never texted. Hey, could your friend stop extorting me?" Like, no, I think I'd probably get shot if I wrote that. Like,
yeah, let me just send you this real quick text really fast.
Yeah, let me send you a quick text. Let me just bluntly talk about it. Like, it's clear that I didn't think she was behind it. Like, I made it very clear, like, oh, you still were in a relationship with her. I was like, no, I broke up with her that week. She never spent another night in the house the rest of her life. Never. And
suppose she was still in your life because look at what just happened. Look at what just happened.
And if you look at how often I saw her, it was one time a month to drop something off. One time a month. And I think I slept with her. I think it was, she said twice. I still think it was twice. So once or twice in the next 2 years within a couple of days of each other. Like, that was it. We weren't in a relationship. And it was kind of like I just didn't say no. But I wasn't looking to hook up with her. I wasn't dating her. I didn't care about her.
You're not really in a position to say no. Let's just be honest.
No, I wasn't carrying on a relationship with her. Listen, I didn't think that she was a part of it. I was pretty damn sure I knew who it was. But even with being damn sure I knew who it was, she would never confirm it. And then it came to a point where I didn't even want to know. I was like, I'm better off not knowing. What's no one going to do? Be a liability? Do a loose string? Like, those people on the jury fucking hated me. They hated me.
Now. I didn't see that was the way that was going. And obviously you saw things from a very different perspective, but like, I did not even, I honestly was just so certain that it was going a different direction.
Right. When I was looking at the 50-year-old white dude that was successful, he was looking at me and smiling and nodding his head. Guess what? That was actually the juror number 15 that said I would have acquitted him and never would have found him guilty. These people made a decision for the rest of my life. Like, they were like, it was like asking them, like, hey, you think the Chiefs are better than the Dolphins? You know, use your common sense. Like, are they more likely to win on Sunday? Do you have that feeling that you know? Yeah.
I don't know who that's for. Well, I know who she is now. But that fancy girl, she posted a screenshot or something had been sent to her. I don't know how she gets her information. But this is why I've been intrigued with her because, I mean, she does put out a lot. Do I respond? I only responded on that one thing. Was a screenshot of his email to Dan with his email on it. And it says, please contact me or something. It was like the subject line. And she posted
but here's the thing. This guy was not in an agreement with everything I was saying. You know why? He's a 50-year-old white successful guy who has a different view of the world than the people who are than a 60-year-old black guy that was a sergeant in the Army and I worked at the post office in his second career. He retired as a sergeant and then he went to work at the post office. Okay, his view of the world, I mean, and I even thought about it today. I'm like, holy shit. He's a leader. He's a sergeant. He was a big, tall, black guy, and he worked in the post office. If anybody knows routes, addresses and routes and streets better than anyone on the planet, it's a dude who works at the post office. If you look at how many streets and intersections and cross streets there are, and say you just plan to travel down that one street at that time on that day, that all this happened, and it was just like near the 10 miles, and I just happened to go down Trescott. You know what he would say? He would say, you know what, that's fucking mathematically impossible.
Yeah.
She didn't take a direct route. She's a smart girl. She passed other liquor stores. Post then knows streets better than anybody. And streets, like, that was the most insulting to his intelligence that they can wander down Prescott. Just the right time, the right place.
Well, that along with, Kaplan's very clear user common sense, you Tallahassee people.
Yeah,
you
come on, y'all.
Like Tallahassee. So please keep that in mind.
What was your book? What was it? Tell me what school did the guy teach at? University of North Florida State University. And was her husband a professor? Yeah. And what was she, an immigration lawyer? What kind of law did she practice? Immigration? And she had 2 young boys? Yep. And what was the name of the city they were in? Akawasi? That was a lot like Tallahassee. And what did you refer to it as? A little stop in the middle of nowhere on the way to civilization. I don't think how you looked at Tallahassee, like the place you just said, you weren't planning on making long. You don't think it's up to your standards, and then a little stop on the way to civilization, kind of like you stuck here on the way down to Miami, didn't you? And you thought you got away with it. Like, you got to understand that they built it up so much higher, fucking motor side, and put her to crazy. That's like putting her behind me. So then you're like, it has to be. What's this a beautiful thing?
You just added, 8 plus 8 is 16.
No.
Yeah.
But he asked 8 plus 8 is, and it was the same. No. You asked me what 8 plus 8 was, and then I answered.
You asked me.
Right, and then you wanted to say the answer. So then what is it? And then he said 7 plus 7 is 14.
Right,
The kid loves numbers, and it freaks me out. That's Daddy's job. No, he really does. His teacher said he loves numbers. He loves numbers.
So great. Like, you look at the baseline. I gotta say that for a lot today. Like, look at the foundation that was laid, and that's before you bring up my mom's crazy ass emails where she wants to dress the kids up in Hitler Youth costumes. Like, and to fuck with this nice Jewish guy and dress the kids up in Hitler Youth costumes. But these people are doing it. These Jews want to dress their kids up in Hitler Youth costumes. They're crazy. Yo, what's wrong with these people? And then the kids get their last name changed. The parents don't see them. And then there's no legislation because of it. And you're showing up in the morning. And then your brother's up to do that morning. Your mother's up to do that morning. You couldn't help yourself. Oh, fuck. You put a foundation like that underneath the case. It's Tallahassee. And I don't have to change anything. No way I figure it out. If I had 10 and a half years, I told them the story of what
You're breaking up a little bit.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm saying,
What was the last 10 seconds that you said?
I sat down and I sat down with 10. That's what happened today. It was the woman in her family. Five people on that jury had anything that was.
Yeah, that obviously I knew nothing about. I mean, now it makes total sense, but I mean, I would have.
Dude, had people the 911 operator who took the call of the shooting. It came out in the referral case.
Right.
And we you should I do what I can? Literally start critiquing the operator and take that call. And we get the problem. How do you answer that call? Because he's the one who did it. But do you think you're impartial? Her nephew taking that on one call. She was prepared to be on the jury. What did I have to do? I need to connect to get her off.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't able to pick and choose people based on their qualifications of somebody who I would be like if I got hit, I don't know what I'm saying. Like, it seems like the kind of guy I have a lot of time. And if he was on he was a jury pool, I'd do what I can to have somebody like that. Right?
Yeah.
Well,
all Tim can tell me is the year that he's been in jail.
And what?
I said Tim told me a story about the year he spent in jail, or I think it's like 8 months.
Oh, he only spent 8 months?
And like, yeah, it was the LA jail.
Yeah. Dude, it's like, you go ahead and you have somebody that, like, juror number 15. You know why juror number 15 couldn't be on my trial? Because the state X'd them off. He was already X'd off the board. But then when they only had, they had 12 jurors and 2 alternates. And what do? They say, you know what, in case you're taking a stick, we don't want to have this trial, so let's go ahead and get a third juror on there. So we're like, okay, and they're like, listen, if you want a third juror, you can have this guy back on the board. They X'd him right off the board. They X'd him right off. He never could have been on my jury. It was only because they wanted to have a third alternate. So we were like, can we put whoever we want as a third alternate? And they go, yeah. And they go, okay, we'll take this guy. We knew he was just great for us. The problem is that 80% of the people were absolute shit that we weren't able to get rid of for cause. You only get, you know what it means to be released for cause?
Did you just, what was the last 5 seconds?
Sometimes did you know what it means? Maybe my wires are getting bad on this. You know what it means to be released for cause?
Yes.
So, like if you come out for a juror and they like, what do you know about the case? And you're like, yeah. And they go, do you think he's guilty? And you're like, yeah. And you're like, do you think you can change your mind and treat him fairly and give him a fair shake? And you go, no, I don't think I can change my mind. You give him a fair shake. Then they go, okay, you get released for cause. You are a biased juror. Now, let's say you walk in and you go, you know about the case? They're like, yeah, I saw the podcast and I've seen it in the Democrat, I've seen it on TV, and I know all about the case.
But yes, this person does have the ability to maybe change my mind if I can choose fairly. No.
Exactly. Okay. So then the person goes, because I did this with you yesterday, right?
No, actually, not this person, no.
Oh, okay. So then, exactly. So then if they think, yeah, I think he made it something to do with it. I mean, the way they're making it seem, like, it kind of seems like he may have done something. So then you go, well, do you think that you could change your mind and give it a fair shot, listen to the judge's instructions, and not hold what you had in your head against them when you walk in the courtroom today?
All it takes is a yes, and then boom, you're on the jury.
Yes. So, but this jury guy that I had consulted, who's like the best in the country, supposedly, like literally the premier jury consultant group I hired for this case, like flew them down from New York. I don't know if you knew that. Probably.
No.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't read much of the comments, just of what's been, like, just posted about it. I haven't.
Or, yeah, I hired the top jury consultant team and the
I mean, I've read that obviously, I obviously knew that you hired someone good.
Oh, yeah.
But people haven't spoken much about that, actually.
Okay, but show me what I tell you, like when Donald Trump meets the future, this is who he calls. That's the level. They are the top. They are the biggest. They are the bad. Like, if you say that you have the Dubin Institute, this is Josh Dubin. So Josh Dubin came down to take my children. We had, so he goes ahead and the person says, oh, I saw this podcast, I saw that podcast. And, I think I can be fair, but, obviously agreement, I thought he was guilty. And then they go, will you tell, he said, will you explain to me, you have this preconceived notion that he's guilty, but now you say you can follow the judge's instructions and follow the rule of law. Can you tell me where in your brain you're going to put, because you got these thoughts in your brain right now that when you walk to the courthouse with today. Yeah. Okay, where in your brain are you going to put these negative thoughts that you had about Mr. Adelson while you're sitting there giving him a fair chance and listening to the judge's instructions? Like, can you tell me where are you going to put these negative thoughts? Where in your brain do you plan on storing them? People go, what? People go, you know what? You're right. It's in my brain. I can't take out thoughts. You already have thoughts and ideas in your head. They could interfere with your new thoughts and ideas. You can't remove your past out of your brain. So, you're right. I don't think I can be a fair juror. Great. You get let go for cause. But you say the same thing to somebody else who wants to be on the jury, and they understand what you're getting at, and they look at you and go, no, it's because I caused something in the past. I can totally block that out. I can make sure that I can treat him fairly.
All it takes is small-minded people to sit there and say,
well,
yeah,
I can be on the jury. Oh, I can be fair. I had one guy come in and said, oh, I know a little bit about the case and what it's about. I know, you got Don and Harvey, and Shirley Wendy, your old brother Robert, they haven't had much to do with for years. Robert's kind of estranged from the family. He knew everybody's name in the family. He was writing it down.
He knew everything, already had his mind up. This is stuff I did not know.
Yeah. No, the guy just named Charlie, Wendy, Robert, Donna, and Harvey, and the dynamics in the family. Like, holy fuck. Like, he must have, studied the shit out of this case. You know what he said? I could be totally fair. I've read stuff, but, I've seen stuff because I've been in town for years. But I think I can separate my whatever thoughts or ideas I had beforehand. I haven't really reached any conclusions. Your Honor, I can be fair. You know what they do? They go, okay, you're in the jury pool. Well, we're sitting there, we're like, okay, whatever he is, juror number 17, we got to accept. He's out. This other sweetheart who's talking, boyfriend of the sheriff's officer, she's got to go. The other guy who was a lieutenant in the police department and an arson investigator from Miami for 24 years, he got to go. So we're just Xing people that are fucking horrible. People who come in and they're like, I know everything about your family, but I can be fair. I know everything about the case. I've seen the podcast. I listened to the 6-part series of the podcast, but I can be fair. How the fuck can you tell me that you've seen the podcast, you've heard the podcast, all 6 parts, over my dead body, and then you listen to Dateline, but you can come in and be my juror?
That's exactly how easy it is, and that's not why it shows. People have this premeditated mentality, already mindset, already intention of this, and that is very unfair. And
it wasn't a real case. It wasn't like.
No, you basically sat there. You and Dan both sat there and pretty much wasted your time.
It was. Dan has been doing law for 23 years. He's been a lawyer. He was a federal prosecutor for 7 years in New York. Like,
Dan is a very intelligent and very good attorney.
He's smart.
And I'm sure he's just livid. I'm sure he's pissed. I mean,
He's got 23 years a lawyer. 23 years he's been a lawyer. 7 years he was a federal prosecutor. He never lost a case. Okay? Never lost a case as a federal prosecutor. He prosecuted terrorists. He prosecuted mobsters. He was in New York as a federal prosecutor. He's been there, done it, and seen it. He wouldn't be telling me, would he be telling me, look, I want to win, I don't want to hang. I'm worried about the one juror that we have that we can't convince, and we end up with an 11-1 verdict. That's how I'm sure we're going to win. That's how I'm sure I'm going to win.
Yeah, your mom told me that, like, my worst, or when I said, I think we should think about this, she was like, no, Dan told me that is the worst thing. That's how confident she was.
Yeah, no, it was like, and then here, as the case was going up till Friday, he said, I said, how's it coming in? And how's it going? And he said, the case is coming in even better than I had hoped.
Yeah, and that's how I thought, just from public perspective, just reading comments online. I mean, it was a big change over the weekend in public opinion. And it was all up to the 12 people that came in already having their mind set.
And Dan, listen, it had to be some absurdity. She put together a Dateline special with text messages. He sent her kissy face. You're the best. Kissy face. Okay, all right. You're the best to fucking Danny when he works hard that day. Like in a kissy face. Like I sent 2 kissy face. Do I think I give a fuck what emojis I send out to who? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't think I've ever sent a text message to Danny? Danny, you're the best. Love you, and hit a couple kissy faces. You know what I'm saying? Like that. You got to give the context, and you got to realize it's not like I was writing deep love poems. I just dropped a line. I was like, I'm lucky to have you in my life. You're the best. You just try to make a person feel good, say thank you, and that's it. Like, I don't know what
that should have gone without, like, even any explanation.
I mean, it might not be only like you send messages like that to anybody. Like, it's not like it's like.
Especially in that situation, I'd be doing the same.
Well, it doesn't look like you're. You know, it's not like you got to get the context and know who's texting and how they text. And if they would throw that out, would I have thrown that out to Danny if he went and closed the toilet that was overflowing at 2 in the morning? I would have wrote, you're the best, Danny, love you. Like, just not like, it's a different kind of like, I love you. Like, I love a woman that I love anything. You know, I love you. But it's a different kind of love than I have for like, a repairman who fixes the toilet for me, and I go, you're the best, man, I love you, thanks for helping out. Different love. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, and it's like 3-4 words in a text, no context. And she's reading screenshots going, I'm so lucky to have you. Thank you again. What that was in relation to, but it was 2 years later, it was a text referring to something or other. But that's not. But my point was that she was the one who was behind it. I truly did.
You did not think right.
I didn't want to believe it. You know.
You did not think that she was at the time, and that is. Oh yeah, this is completely unfair.
Simple answer.
Yeah.
It's a simple answer. Yeah, but it's like they just. Yeah, I think the beginning part where you say it starts off with the ex-wife driving by the house. It starts off with the TV joke. It starts off with his mom talking.
Well, I hate you made that joke, and I hate that Wendy made that wrong turn. Or, I mean, it had to do a 3-point turn in that area at that time. But it's all just, I mean, it definitely, I know, and it's something else, I know. It just, I know.
A coincidence is something that you can't explain, but it just happens. happened, and it just happened to be too random. It happened to be a random event, or you can't explain it, but that doesn't mean that like.
And a bad joke of yours. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. And it's all just, but you know what? Even without those things happening, the jurors knew exactly how they felt, what their decision was upon approaching and being a part of that group. Can you hear me? Hello? 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 I can't hear anything, but if you can hear me, call me back.